Imagine you're standing in Jerusalem. The sun is high, but something feels wrong. The air is heavy, not hot, heavy, like the city itself is holding its breath. The streets are louder than usual. People are moving fast, whispering, arguing. Some look angry, others look confused, and some look afraid. You don't know exactly what's happening yet, but you can feel it. Something is about to happen. Then you hear it. A crowd. Not just any crowd, a loud, chaotic, emotionally charged crowd. The kind that doesn't gather for curiosity, but for judgment. You move closer. At first, you only hear fragments. Crucify him. Crucify him. The same words recorded in Gospel of Luke 23:21, echoing through the streets of Jerusalem. And then you see him, a man, beaten, barely recognizable, as described in Isaiah 52:14. His appearance was so disfigured beyond that of any human being. His back torn open, his face bruised. Blood running down from a crown of thorns pressed into his head, just as told in Gospel of Matthew 27:29. He is carrying a cross. And suddenly, everything becomes real. This isn't just noise. This is an execution. And now the question is no longer theoretical. You are here. You are watching. So what would you do? Because here's the uncomfortable truth. This is not just history. This is a moment that exposes something deeper. Not about them, about you. To understand this moment, you have to understand what led here. For 3 years, Jesus of Nazareth had been walking through towns and villages, healing the sick, giving sight to the blind, and raising the dead. As described in Matthew 4:23, he went throughout Galilee, healing every disease and sickness among the people. He didn't just speak about God, he forgave sins, something that shocked people deeply, as seen in Mark 2:5-7. He challenged religious leaders, he exposed hypocrisy, and slowly, quietly, he became a threat. Not a political threat, a deeper one. A threat to control, a threat to power, a threat to the system. And systems don't like to be challenged. So plans were made, quietly, strategically, at night. As described in Luke 22:2-6, the leaders were looking for a way to kill Jesus, but they were afraid of the people. So they waited until darkness. Because truth is often attacked where fewer people can see clearly. Now you're back in the crowd, standing among people who have already chosen their side. And here's something most people miss. The crowd wasn't made up of monsters. It was made up of ordinary people. People like you. People like me. Would you be like Peter? Just hours earlier, Peter said he would never deny Jesus, even if everyone else did. But when the pressure came, when fear became real, he said, "I don't know him." Exactly as recorded in Luke 22:57. Not once, but 3 times, just as Jesus had predicted in Luke 22:34. Not because Peter was evil, but because fear is powerful. Would you be like Pilate? Pilate examined Jesus. He questioned him, and his conclusion? I find no basis for a charge against this man, as written in John 18:38. He knew, but knowing the truth and standing for it are not the same thing. The crowd got louder, the pressure increased, and Pilate made his decision. He washed his hands, as described in Matthew 27:24, trying to distance himself from what he knew was wrong. Or maybe you would be like the silent majority, the ones who didn't shout, the ones who didn't defend, the ones who just watched. Because doing nothing often feels harmless, but in moments like this, silence isn't neutral. Now imagine you follow the crowd. You walk with them. Jesus is struggling. He falls, and a man named Simon is forced to carry the cross, exactly as described in Luke 23:26. Then you arrive, Golgotha, the place of the skull, as recorded in Gospel of Matthew 27:33, and everything slows down. They lay him on the wood, they stretch out his arms, and then the sound, the hammer, the nails. As foretold centuries earlier in Book of Psalms 22:16, they pierced my hands and my feet. They lift the cross, and above his head a sign reads, "This is Jesus, the King of the Jews," as written in Gospel of Matthew 27:37. Some mock him, "If you are the Son of God, come down from the cross," in Gospel of Matthew 27:40. Others laugh, others walk away. And then something happens. Darkness, in the middle of the day. As recorded in Gospel of Luke 23:44-45, the sun stops shining, the world pauses, and from the cross he speaks, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." Not anger, not revenge, forgiveness, in the middle of pain. And then his final words, "It is finished." This is where everything changes, because this was not just an execution, this was fulfillment. Hundreds of years earlier, Book of Isaiah 53:5 had already said, "He was pierced for our transgressions. By his wounds we are healed." This was not random. This was a pattern, a divine design, from the lamb in Egypt to the lamb on the cross. As Gospel of John 1:29 declares, "Behold, the Lamb of God, who takes away the sin of the world." So now the question changes. It's no longer just, "What would you have done?" Now it becomes, "What do you do with this?" Because the cross demands a response, not passive observation, not distance, a response. That day in Jerusalem, there were many people, but only a few understood. And today, it's the same. So let me ask you one last time. If you were there, watching him carry the cross, hearing the hammer strike, seeing the sky go dark, hearing him forgive, what would you do? And more importantly, what are you doing now?